This is a tribute to Reb Zalman Yudkin, who passed away a week or so ago. Reb Zalman was a Yid, was born or raised, I believe, in Riga. And as a young boy, he learned in the yeshiva Torah in Derech Eretz that Rabbi Hodakov learned in as well under the guidance of Rabbi Yoel Baranchik. Rabbi Yoel Baranchik was a Talmud of the Novardik yeshiva. And in fact, it was Rabbi Hodakov who brought Rabbi Zalman Yudkin to the yeshiva and ultimately had a big impact on him, later becoming a Lubavitcher Chassid. Rabbi Zalman told me, I knew him from Crown Heights. He would daven at Chevra Shas, Rabbi Motla Garadi's shul. He would tell me that he remembers seeing Rabbi Itche the Masmid. Now, many of you in Muncie and in Williamsburg and Monroe, not Lubavitcher Chassidim, know of Reb Zalman Yudkin and held him as a tzaddik. Reb Zalman was a Adohei ben a Yid. He was a Yid that was an Oved Hashem, a servant of God, and he was very, very frum. He had that Riga Yekish-like frumkeit, religiosity. And I remember hearing him make an appeal in different shuls here in Borough Park he would raise money for the Chabad yeshiva for Bukharim in Nachlasar Chabad, I believe, or Kfar Chabad. And when he started speaking about Russian Jewry, he started to cry and speak with such heartfelt emotions about the difficulties that they went through. You felt as though you're living through the time in Russia in the 20s and 30s under Stalin, Yamach Shemam, and how we're fighting for survival. For Reb Zalman, that was the reality. And he conveyed this in his public appeals and also privately with people. And that's one of the reasons why so many people of all kinds, Vishnitzer, Satper, Bobover, Belzer, Stettziner, Karoliner, Bresover, Lubavitchers, Litvische, Svardische, everyone gave him money for the cause, because they found a genuine man. He was 99 when he passed on. Tremendous arichas yamim. He was blessed with long life and good years. And I remember when Rabbi Yisrael Friedman, the great Torah genius, the Rosh Yeshiva of Ola Torah, the Chabad Yeshiva in Crown Heights, would teach Likutei Torah, Torah or Shabbos morning, or at other times during the week between Mincha Ma'ariv, or the Rabbi Gerari taught. He would sit there like we say, a tatale. You know what a tatale means? So behaved, listening, and then he would interject once in a while, and Rabbi Yisrael knew that, in what I observed is, like Rabbi Yisrael is this genius of Torah. Rabbi Zalman, that wasn't his field, He didn't get a chance to learn all the years much, I'm sure he knew the basics, but compared to Rabbi Yisrael, it's nothing. And yet Rabbi Yisrael listened to him and was patient. And then he would tell him, no, you're not learning right the pshat, the meaning, or you are. And then he would, But I saw, here is this person who's quite older than Rabbi Yisrael Friedman, and who lived through, the trenches. It's one thing to know a lot, be very Hasidic and be a Rosh Yeshiva. There's another thing to live in the trenches, down and dirty, to get schmutzig, get dirty, meaning from all the narishkeit, the nonsense around you, and to the point where they want to kill you. This isn't a game. And Rabbi Zalman Yudkin lived that way. And at this time, I also want to say that the neshama of his grandson, I believe Yisrael Yudkin, who was murdered in Gaza just this week, and the Levaya, the funeral was in Kfar Chabad. May his neshama have an aliyah. I understand that his father came to Crown Heights to sit Shiva for Reb Zalman, and it was towards the end of Shiva that he heard that his son was murdered and he returned to Eretz Yisrael. Very tragic, but yet we realize that there's some kind of soul connection over here within the Shiva, or close to the Shiva. His Reb Zalman's grandson passed on. This isn't just, by chance. What that means, I don't know. But what I do know is that just keep your ears open. Let's go back to Reb Zalman. So when Reb Zalman would come into Muncie, and I heard this from people who, they drove him around. He didn't drive. They took him around. They slept with him to 12, 1 in the morning to different homes to raise money. And I asked them, not Lubavitchers, why are you doing this? They said, because there's only one Reb Zalman, one type of person of this nature and of this commitment, bringing the old to the new and letting us feel and see and observe this reality. So, with Tevis Nishmosai, for the benefit of his neshama, may you have an aliyah, Mekitzu, Ranu Sheikh Offer, may all that are lie in dust rise through the coming of Mashiach, Tchias HaMesim, the resurrection of the dead, B'mheid of Yemena very speedily, B'binya Beis HaMikdash, with the rebuilding of the Holy Temple, the Beis HaMikdash in Yerushalayim, the Holy City of Jerusalem, Amen v'Amen.